Good morning, grade 9. Hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to continue Chapter 7, Chromosomes Carriers of the Genetic Information, with the last part, Pedigree or Genealogical Tree. Let's first start with the correction of the homework. The first question, write a text that describes the realized crosses. So what you have to do is to simply describe the figure you see, of course using the legend crossing gives first generation, second generation. So the answer would be, so crossing the male rabbit of white fur of pure race with a female rabbit of black fur gives in the first generation 100% rabbits of white fur spotted with black. Then crossing a male and female rabbits of the first generation of white fur spotted with black gives in the second generation F2 quarter rabbits with white fur, quarter rabbits with black fur, and half rabbits of white fur spotted with black. So for the second question, it's a case of codominance since the two phenotypes, white and black, appear at the same time in the F1. For the third question, and since it's a case of codominance, so both alleles should be represented in capital letter. Thus, capital W for white and capital B for black. For the fourth question, the genotypes of parents, WW, BB, since they are of pure race. So, to answer the fifth question, which consists of verifying the experimental results of F2 by a factorial analysis, so the phenotypes of the parents, F1 individuals, WB crossed with WB, their genotypes, WB hybrid crossed with WB hybrid, and thus the gametes are of two types produced by every parent, half W, half B by the first parent, half W, half B by the second parent. Then, these gametes are represented in the table of cross as you can see below. So the results obtained in the descendants are WW 1 over 4, BB 1 over 4, 1 over 4, WB 1 over 4, and BB 1 over 4. So we have three phenotypes, 1 over 4 W, 1 over 4 B, and 1 over 2 WB. And thus the experimental given is verified. So now we're done with the correction of the homework. We can move to the explanation of the last part in this chapter, the pedigree. So what is a pedigree? A pedigree is a family tree used to show the inheritance of genetic traits like hair color or genetic disease like diabetes, and in which the phenotypes of a line of ancestors are recorded. Here is an example of a pedigree made up of two generations, generation 1 and generation 2. The square represents the male. The circle represents the female. When the square and the circle are in black color, they mean the individuals are affected. The line between the circle and the square indicates a mating between a man and his wife. Now, we have here a small pedigree of two generations, 1 and 2. And for example, if the generation 2 has two individuals, like in the figure, so they are numbered 1 and 2, so we say 2, 1, 2, 2. Also, sometimes a couple can have identical twins or non-identical twins. In the figure, the line between circle and square, we call it marriage line, and the line that gives the descendants or the children, it is called line of descent, and we have the sibling line, that is the line that join the sisters and brothers. Now we can state the objectives of this part. The first thing we should do is to indicate if the allele of the disease or the allele corresponding for a specific trait in a given family is dominant or recessive. Second, to identify the accurate or the probable genotypes of certain members of this family. And third, to determine the probability for a couple to have a child with a certain hereditary trait. Let's do the first application. The opposite document shows the pedigree of a family whose some members have dark brown hair and others have red hair. So it would be better if you pause the video for a few minutes and then try to answer these questions, please. Concerning the first question, whether the allele responsible for red hair is dominant or recessive, this allele is recessive. Why? If you look at the pedigree, you see clearly that Ziyad and Naila, the parents of Hind, Naji, and Zaina, these parents, they have dark brown hair, but they have some children like Hind and Naji with red hair. This indicates that Ziyad and Naila, the parents, they are hybrids or heterozygotes, and they are carriers of the recessive allele red, which is masked by the dominant allele brown. So Ziyad and Naila are hybrids. They carry the allele red, and then Naji and Hind, who have red hair, they inherit one allele red from Ziyad and one allele red from the mother Naila. So, the symbol of the alleles, capital B for brown being dominant allele and small r for red being recessive allele. For the third question, which is about the genotypes of Nadim, a first answer is BB or BR. Why? Because B allele is dominant and the dominant allele is always expressed, and it could be expressed in the homozygous state or in the heterozygous state. Another possible answer, which is Mariam, who is Najim's sister, she has red hair, so her genotype is RR because the R allele is recessive and is only expressed in the homozygous state. So Nadim, who is Mariam's brother, has his parents Zaina and Karim with dark brown hair, heterozygotes of genotype BR. In this case, Nadim can inherit capital B from Zaina and capital B from Karim, or capital B from one of them and small r also from one of them. So he can have both possible genotypes, BB or BR. So let's do the second application. In human, migraine is determined by a gene M dominant located on an autosome. And here is the pedigree for a family whose some members are affected by migraine. Also here, dear students, it would be better if you pause the video for a while and try to answer these questions by yourself. So let's answer the questions. The first question, the allele M is dominant since if the individual possesses the two alleles M and M or M and small m, he will have migraine. This means that the allele small m responsible for normal is masked in this person by the allele capital M and is thus recessive, and this explains the dominance of the allele capital M. For the second question, to verify the phenotypes of the descendants of this couple, so the father has the phenotype M affected and the mother is small m normal. The genotypes of the parents, the father is hybrid capital M small m. Why? Because he has normal children with phenotype small m, so these children must have necessarily inherited the allele m small m from their father, like they have inherited it also from their mother. So the father who has capital M being affected should have also small m, so he's hybrid capital M small m. The genotype of the mother is small m, since the mother is normal and the allele normal is recessive, expressed only in the homozygote state. The gametes produced by each parent, by the father, half m, half small m, by the mother, one small m. After representing these gametes in the table of Cross, the genotypes of the descendants are capital M, half, small m, half. Thus, we obtain two phenotypes, half m, half small m, and this confirms the two phenotypes of the children of the couple 1 and 2. Thank you, dear students. Take care and see you later.